Good morning. Well, it's morning for me anyways, and welcome to my channel, and I am Shelly Harris. I'm sorry that it's kind of dark in here. This is really the only time right before I go into work that I have time to myself to where I can do a small video to kind of let you know what's going on. And to be honest, I really don't know where to start. So much has happened, especially these last couple of weeks. And main thing is I had foot surgery, so I was off 6 weeks, and I've been a week back to work. And so now this is the start of my second week, and it's Sunday morning. But couple of weeks ago, there was a post on Facebook that this girl was looking for an intern, and I applied for it. And you just had to write in a little short story about yourself, and anyways, I got picked, and I knew it was by the grace of God that she picked me. And I don't even know how to describe it, but I knew a huge door had opened up. Now, before this, I guess I kind of need to back up. I think it was about May, June, somewhere in there. I had been riding Cmego for quite a while, trying to get him back in shape, and he just kept getting sore and sore and sore on me. I even took him to the vet. We put him in the round pen. He looks good, and he's like, just go on with him. And so I bring him home and still trying to ride and get him, in shape and everything, and it doesn't matter what I do. He just kept getting sore, and I'm not sure exactly, but when you have this gut feeling that something is just not right, I think it was probably by August at this time, I noticed that his eating was not getting very good, and I'll try to find that video. And he was having trouble eating, like his tongue was swollen, and he just slammed his head in the bucket like he's mad, and that is so uncharacteristic of him. And then I kind of went through some pictures previously, and I'm going to tell you one of my huge tip that I could tell you all with your horses is please take pictures of them or a video of them at least once a month, so that, because sometimes changes are so subtle that you don't really see them until maybe a couple 2 months later, and you're like, when did that happen? Or so that way you just kind of keep a log. And I am a firm believer in writing everything down, even though sometimes it is hard to find time to do it. But it does make a difference, and it helps you remember stuff. But anyways, in the pictures, I noticed that his shoulder had been deteriorating. And it started back in May, from what I can tell in my pictures. And then I also have a video of that where it's real lumpy and there's kind of hard in some areas, and you'll be able to tell what I'm talking about whenever you see the video. So I'm going to make a long story short. I changed his EPM treatment. By the way, this horse has had EPM anywhere between 5 to 7 years, but these symptoms was different, so it took me about 2 months to figure out really what's going on. I had been listening to podcasts with Summer and Dr. Sam Crosby, and a lot of stuff they were saying was his symptoms, and basically they have found another parasite or another EPM family. I really can't explain it all. You'll just have to go listen to it if you want to know more about EPM and everything. But it attacks the muscles, and it does attack, makes the tongue swell up, and they have trouble eating and stuff. So I treated him for 90 days because I've heard some people, vet-wise, have said, they're not sure that 30 days is actually long enough to treat. Now, EPM is not a curable disease at this time, so you pretty much just got to figure out how you're going to maintain and everything. And it also makes them very weak, muscle-wise, the whole shebang. So, anyways, I also changed his feed program, and that has helped him tremendously. And I just noticed him getting better and better. Now, it's been a month now since his last dose of his medicine. And he's been on the new feeding program, I think, about 3 months now. I'll have to go back to look to make sure. So anyways, I had applied for an internship at a rehab facility, and I got it. Out of all these people, I got picked, and I know it's by the grace of God. And so a couple of weeks ago, I got to spend 3 days with her, got to watch the barn, help, and do whatever she needed done. And I learned a lot. And so, of course, my horse gets brought up and everything, and she graciously looked at him and did an evaluation on him, and I have the video of the first time we put him in a treadmill. So we had talked and everything, and so she is going to keep him, and I am going to keep a record of his progress. And basically, she has said everything that I have been struggling with. I've always felt like it's his fitness program, and I have tried different ways to get him fit. I've never been able to get him muscled up. I've never, every time I tried to work him or whatever, I backed off because he gets sore on me, and I think, okay, well, this is how I'm going to have to exercise him. But then at the same time, it's not enough, and I believe that's why we've went through so much. So anyways, here is his, oh, one more thing. Another reason why this is a huge God thing was back in April of 2018, I had wrote down on a piece of paper, and this is why I believe in writing things down, because when I had listened to other successful people, that was one of the biggest things that they said was writing it down, and I just am like, really? But there is something to writing it down. So anyways, in April 2018, I had wrote down that I need to be open to opportunities and to work part-time at a rehab facility and to learn a conditioning program for Dooley. And I had forgotten, and I stuck that in my Bible, and I completely forgotten about it. And so when I went Wednesday, Thursday, Friday to the rehab facility. Friday, Cmego went there. She looked at him, gave his evaluation and everything. I brought him home because I didn't have his feed, and she's like, let's not change what is broken, and especially since he looks good on this feed program. So anyways, I opened up my Bible. I think it was like Sunday morning, last Sunday, and in there I found that piece of paper where I had wrote a year and a half ago, had wrote that down and put it in the Bible, and had completely forgot about it. And yeah, I was bawling. I was bawling when I seen it. I was like, oh my gosh, God, you had just like been working that for me, and I had no clue, and really thought that door had been shut a couple of years ago. And anyways, God is amazing. And I had originally planning on kicking Cmego out for 6 months, see how he's doing. That's another thing. After this treatment, as he was getting better and better, he would run the pasture, he would buck over his head and look good and everything. And Summer had asked me, she's like, can you even trailer him to bring him? And I said, oh yeah. I said, I think you can saddle him up and ride him, no problem. You know, it's just running barrels. I don't know if he'll ever be able to do that again. And so anyways, when we put him on the treadmill, I realized how weak he was. And she had been saying all along, you know, the treadmill will really tell you a lot. And I did not really understand, because I'm like, you know, if they can walk on the ground, you think they'd be able to do whatever, you know. And because of the 2 days that I was there prior, and I seen these different horses for the first time get on there, and at first they would be a little unsteady, but just for a few seconds, and then they would be fine. Now there's all kinds of horses in there for different reasons, colic surgeries, stoffel, and a couple of them just there to get fed. And I mean, there's a lot of variety of what's going on with them horses. And so when we put Cmego on there, I would have swore that it's just because it's his first time. he couldn't hardly handle it. He couldn't hardly, you could hear all 4 feet hit really, really hard. He swayed quite a bit. Summer had to hold on to his neck to help him balance. He flipped his head a lot. You could tell he really struggled. And then we even put him on the short time. We had to stop halfway and let him take a breather. And then we was able to finish it. And I don't really remember how many minutes. It was not very long. I'm going to say maybe like 5 minutes or something. And so a week later, whenever I bring him, we put him on the tread. And he was able to go longer. We did not have to stop. And he probably flipped his head maybe once or twice. So, anyways, there's just so much to tell, and this is going to be an amazing journey. It's definitely a God thing, and I feel like I should be sharing this because maybe this can help somebody else. And as I go through this, I'll tell more story about, what all I've went through him, and maybe some people can take some shortcut and not go the long way like I had to go. So, anyways, I'm not sure what order I can put the videos, and anyways, here's some of his videos.